Hello and welcome to the latest episode of United Together. A really fun show from all of us here at United Methodist Communities. This is our Thanksgiving episode, and we are very thankful. We're thankful for all of you who watch this show. We're thankful for our residents, our families, our associates, and our many donors who support us through the foundation. And this episode starts with our community highlight, and our community highlight takes us to our community at Collingswood, United Methodist Communities at Collingswood. And we're joined today by the executive chef, Eric Schumacher. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So how long have you been part of the Collingswood family there?
I joined on the team in last January, right after Christmas. It's been quite a unique experience for me. I'm from Delaware, and I'm making about an hour commute every day to come here. And I've met a lot of great people, and I've made a lot of friends in this area, so it's been great.
Dining services plays a huge role in the spirit of our residents. What kind of things have you and your team been doing to help out the residents in Collingswood get through this?
A lot of the time during the last several months, the residents have been restricted to their rooms in a lot of cases.
Mhm.
So what we tried to do is we tried to like for Easter, for instance, we did special Easter baskets that we got together, and we wrapped them all nice, and we had a lot of different varieties of food in the basket. We put a little note inside. Same thing with this past Halloween. We did some cookies and some little treats and stuff. We didn't want to get too much involved in candy, but we wanted to have the same idea behind. We got them some pumpkin spice donuts and various things like that. And we'll bake cookies and then wrap them individually and put a little note on there saying we're thinking of them.
Now, you can't work at a community like you do and not feel like the residents are your parents, your grandparents. There's a very special relationship that exists at our communities.
I've formed a lot of close relationships with a lot of people. I wouldn't say it's like a job. It's more like a home, like a community. Everybody's in it together. Everybody's going through the same struggles together. As long as we all see each other as family, we can not only do some cool things for them, but we can all kind of say, hey, we're all in this together. And
the one thing I'm hearing from a lot of your counterparts at the other communities is that you yourselves have been on the receiving end of a lot of really thoughtful gifts, a lot of thank you from families. I'm sure that's very gratifying.
Absolutely. We've gotten a lot of different eateries have provided us with different food, some of which it comes from the foundation, of course. We've had people that have donated that way. We've had individual residents that have ordered different meals and catering events for us and different things for us to show us that they totally support our efforts. And we truly appreciate it. I've had some really, really good food, and I've actually gotten some idea for different things that I can do with my food by looking at some of the stuff that's come in. So,
speaking of ideas, you just referenced the fact that Halloween was recently. Any recipes from the pumpkin festival that come to mind?
Yeah, I actually have a recipe that I would like to submit, and basically what we did is we did these pumpkin cookies. Anyone in like an Italian background for Christmas and holiday time knows of like a ricotta cookie, which is like a softer cookie, and it's done with a cream cheese icing on top. We do a little variation on it where we actually include pumpkin and pumpkin spice, and it's very nice soft cookie, and it's kind of got a savory bit to it, but we also it's got like that cream cheese icing for that sweetness in the end.
On behalf of everyone, not just us here at the foundation, but everyone within United Methodist Communities, it's you and your teams in dining services that have really made a difference during this challenging times. And so thanks so much for being on the show, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you. And thank you for having me as part of the team, part of the family. It's been great.
It was great to hear from Eric, and he represents what's so beautiful about our dining services teams. But now we're going to make a little switch, and it's time for our resident spotlight. And our resident spotlight takes us where else but to our residents themselves. And here's a little montage of some of the things our residents are thankful for at this time of the year.
Thankful for my family and for all the good friends that I have, both here and elsewhere.
Every employee that enters this building and takes their life in their hands to do work for us, what would we do without them?
Oh my, do you have an hour? With my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my friends.
My family, of course. God blessed me with 2 daughters that I thought I would never have. And with a wonderful, wonderful family. And He's blessed me by letting me come here. I waited and waited to get in here. And I'm so happy to be here where they're going to take good care of me. That'll be my home now for the rest of my life.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Well, a big thank you to all of our residents for sharing their what they're thankful for. And, now it's time for the Daisy of the Day. And our Daisy of the Day takes us up to Newton, New Jersey. And we're going to hear from Chaplain Sal from Bristol, Glen. Chaplain Sal?
We seem to be finding ourselves again in the time of Thanksgiving, a time that we often reflect on what we're grateful for. So I wanted to come to you with a message about gratitude, but slightly different. You may hear my son in the background. A message about being grateful even in times of uncertainty. But I'm reminded of a devotion by Oswald Chambers. He was a chaplain in World War I from England. He wrote a devotional series called The Utmost for the Highest. My Utmost for the Highest. I think that's right. And he wrote one called Gracious Uncertainty. And in the devotion he writes this: Certainty is the mark of the common sense life. Gracious uncertainty is the mark of the spiritual life. To be certain of God means that we are certain in all our ways, not knowing what tomorrow may bring. This is generally expressed with a sigh of sadness, but it should be an expression of breathless expectation. We are uncertain of the next step, but we are certain of God. As soon as we abandon ourselves to God and do the task He has placed closest to us, He begins to fill our lives with surprises. When we become simply a promoter or defender of a particular faith, belief, something within us dies. That is not believing God, it is only believing our belief about Him. Jesus said, unless you become like as little children. The spiritual life is the life of a child. We are not uncertain of God, just uncertain of what He is going to do next. If our certainty is only in our beliefs, we develop a sense of self-righteousness, become overly critical, and are limited by the view that our beliefs are complete and settled. But when we have the right relationship with God, life is full of spontaneous, joyful uncertainty and expectancy. Jesus says, believe also in me in John, not believe certain things about me. Leave everything to Him, and it will be gloriously and graciously uncertain how He will come in. But you can be certain that He will come. Remain faithful to Him. So everything we do each day in these uncertain times lives out our values, shows our compassion and our respect for others, for our residents, for our colleagues. So we may not know what happens tomorrow. We may not know how we celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas, but we celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas because what those days and those holidays mean for us and the expectancy of what God is doing in our lives cannot be overshadowed or forgotten just because today is uncertain. But we, as believers, can be confident because it's not what we believe in, it's who we believe in. And God is going to see us through this, whether it's a bumpy ride or a smooth ride. It's been a heck of a bumpy ride the last few months, but we'll be okay. God will be with us. God continues to be with us. And God will encourage us and strengthen us as we move forward day by day. God is with us. So do all the good you can, all the while you can, everywhere you can, and God will be with us. Have a great Thanksgiving. See you soon.
Thank you, Chaplain Sal, for your words of inspiration. And we hope that this show reinforces what we're trying to do at all of our communities. Everybody be safe, wear a mask, 6 feet apart, wash your hands, and let's stay united together. And we'll see you soon.